Since we've seen how to correct data, how to represent it into the table, now in this lesson we are going to focus on how do we represent data onto a pictogram. It can be having a pie chart, then a bar graph. Then more will be given on also a line graph. So we are going to focus on this. Now we saw last week that now they are giving you here. This was about the variety team. We have Arsenal, Man U, and Chelsea. So the term, remember how we said about the term. So this shows that the example on this was a student and this was a student by a person. Then these were two. So it's saying now this will be the number of students. Now the number of students in statistics, we are going to be replacing it with the frequency. The moment you see frequency, it means the number of students. So the number of students who supported Arsenal, you count 1, 2, 3. The number of students supposed to manage, we say the moment you see this one represents 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As we discussed in the last lesson. Then Chelsea, this is where you count 1, 2. Then here, this symbol means sum. So when you see sum, F, it means that we are summing frequency, like adding, summation. So when you sum, you add. So in mathematics, we are going to do that using this symbol, this summation notation. So we are summing frequency. How do we sum? We add this plus this plus this. That's so that here we have 10. So now in your groups of 5, you are going to draw for me. You are going to represent this information on a pictogram, a pie chart, then a bar graph. So I'm going to give you 25 minutes for that. So can you start? Okay, so these are the groups of sampling. We are going to use their work. Yeah. The rest, let us exchange our work. Other groups can exchange quickly. Let us do that as quickly as possible. So this one is group 5. They are having a bar graph. So I think you can able see. Okay, we'll pick 1, 1, then I pin. So this is group 5. I think you can see how they are putting their bar graph. We are going to comment more about it. So this is group 5. Okay, let me put it here. Then we have the next group as group A. So group A, we are doing pie charts. So this is their first. So this is how they are presenting the pie charts. And then they also have this here, as you can able see it. So this was group A. Let me pin it here. So group A. Group A. Then we also have this still from group A. So for them, they are concentrating on a pie chart. Then we have group E and group 10. So group E and group 10, this is their work. I think you can see how they represented their pictograms. Hope everyone can see there. That's their pictogram. Then this is group E. That's how they define their pictogram, like that. So if we bring them also here, we are going to discuss onto them and we'll see what happens. The rest of us exchange our work. I think everyone can see those 4, 5 diagrams. Okay, so let us start commenting on them. Okay, so group A, the rest of us exchange our work from one group to the other. So here, group 10, they are having pictogram and they're saying C is for Chelsea, N is for Man U, A is for Arsenal. And then now in pictograms, you see the you define what each letter or each symbol you are using represents. So for them, they are defining here that each letter represents 1. So this was group 10. So if it represents 1, now they are saying Arsenal has A. Because each letter is representing 1. Because there were 3, that's why they have this. Then Manu, for them they are 5, that's why they have 5 M's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 M's. Then C, you see, they are having 2. That's why in Chelsea they have this. Okay, so that was the idea from group 10. Then where is group C? I mean group E. Okay, group E. For them they say C Chelsea, M Man U, A Arsenal. Each letter represents 2. So for them now they are defining that each letter is representing 2. Then they are saying half letter represents 1. So always, whenever you use a symbol, you define. Whether you have a ball, you can put a ball. You tell us that 1 ball represents 3. 1 ball represents 1. 1 ball represents 10. It's up to you. So this is what they call a pictogram. Then for them, that's why it's an Arsenal this A. Now for them, each A is representing 2. That's why I said each letter represents 2. So A is for 2. Yet Arsenal they have 3. What about the other one? That's why they are putting a half a letter. So A, they divide this A into 2. That's why they have that as a half a letter. Okay, I like the idea. Then money they have, still each letter represents 2. So money they are 5, so this 2, those are 2. Even this one is 2, so those are 4. Then because they are 5, now they have a half of M to make them 5. I think it's the difference. All of them are right, but just that they have a difference in the magnitude of each letter. Then Chelsea they are 2, and since each letter is 2, that's why they are having only C. Can you clap for them, for these 2 groups? Yeah, so these ones we can give them each group. We give them 5 out of 5. You also mark the group you have. 5 out of 5. Now, there's another way of representing it. When you put numbers down, then you put the up there. So you are going to show me that in your exercise books. I want you now to put it on, you draw 2 axes, then you put the numbers down, then you present these ones up. So, this is where. Then let's just come to pie chart. Pie chart, so we represent this ones on pie chart. So, this is group areas, group A. Okay, so group A, they are telling us that pie chart convert to degrees. How are you converting to degrees? They're telling us that x over 10, then times 360. What does x mean? The frequency or the number of the number of students. So this x is the number of students. So Arsenal has how many? 3 over 10. What does 10 mean? Why did you put here 20? Because the total is 10. So someone said we get f over the total, then times 300. So why am I multiplying with 360? Because the pie chart total angles. We multiply by 360 when we are converting to a pie chart. Why? Because we see that the reason is simple, because whenever you convert to a pie chart, these are points around, these are angles around the point. That's why you multiply with 360 degrees. Because a pie chart is a circular figure. We saw this in the previous lesson, how to convert in angles. Hope you remember. So that's why the answer now they are 3 over 10 times 360. Then they got this. Then money, they are 5 over 10 times 360. They got this. Then Chelsea, 2 over 10 times this, and they got this. So this is the pie chart they drew. I told you how to draw pie chart. So we said we use what? A protractor. So when you are drawing, you first always draw a circle, a specific circle of your choice. So as those who can, you draw a circle. So you draw a circle of your choice on of your radius. But it should be visible enough. like you see mine. So this is that was the first step you do. Then after, you mark out a line. It's up to you where you put that line. So for them, they mark that line. So for them, they used horizontal. Let me also use what they used. From the center, then you can go this side or you can go the other side. It's up to you. So then you put your protractor here. We say we measure angles using a protractor. So we put it here like this. I think you can see where 108 is. 108 is there. That's where my 108 is. So 108, then you connect. I think you can see. I have this. And then you show us that you always name the angle. This is what? Say no. Then from here, the next is 180. So for 180, now where you stopped is where you start from. Now this is my 0. So this should be at the center. So my 0, then 0. From here, we start from 0, 20, 80, 100, up to 180. So 180 is here. This one, we're using the lower one. That's where my 180 is. Then I come, then I draw from this. So where my 100 from the center, where that mark is. So the whole of this is going to be 180 as they are showing there. This is going to be manual. Then this one, the remaining, even if you don't measure, it's going to be the balance, which is 72 degrees. As long as you are accurate. So that's how the pie chart is. So those who are not doing it properly. So that's how they were able to do their work. So those who are marking, we are giving for converting, you give one here, also one there. Then for a pie chart, correctly representing, we are giving 3 marks. For this one, this one, this one. So 3 out of 3. Then this one you add there. So that's what we are giving them for correct. Okay, because we saw that some people don't mark these angles. If they never marked, don't give the mark. So you give a mark here, and a mark here. And this was Chelsea on condition that namely. So that's the pie chart. Now it's that I think you can see this one is taking the half. How do we know? Is that 10? I mean 5 is a half of 10. And I think you can see it on the pie chart that Manu is taking the half of the members you sampled. I think you see. So that's how we can represent that data onto a pie chart. So let us come to our group, which was discussing the bar graph. This is group 5. Okay, group 5. So group 5, whenever you're drawing, always, where do I want to comment? Whenever you're drawing these bars, we use a ruler. So it's like for them, they are not using the ruler because these lines are not straight. So we always use a ruler. Then the space between these should be, it should be uniform. So you always leave spaces when you are drawing a bar graph. Then here we put frequency. I think in the previous lessons, we saw how we define the scale. So this was our pie chart. Okay, then we come to the bar graph. So I'm just commenting briefly. The diagram is very okay, but we never use the rulers. So here we use the ruler. So what you do, you start by drawing the vertical axis with the ease like that. Then you come here and then you draw what we call the horizontal axis. Then from here, now you see that when you look at this, that our highest is 10. So I can try to use 1, 1. So I say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this axis, you name it, and whenever you're doing a bar graph, or is this one is 4, frequency. In simple terms, it's our F. Then here, we put the what? The teams. So now me, I'm going to take 2 centimeters. This should be uniform and this should be uniform. So between those bar graphs, this is not the geography, don't confuse it with the geography. Here we need spaces between the two. There's a difference between a histogram and then a bar graph. Anyway, for you, we'll see a histogram later. But for bar graphs, if here I measure, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now I'm going to leave, from here up here, I'm going to leave 2 units. I mean 1 unit. So this is going to be the 1 unit I'm going to leave. Then each bar graph I'm going to project using 2 centimeters. This is my 2 centimeters. Then between, I leave 1 unit. Then I plot this one using 2 centimeters. Like that. That's how we plot. So that's how we do. So this should be uniform between them, I think you see. Anyway, so now how do we determine it? You see that now the first stream was acid. Acid has a frequency of 3. So now this is where 3 is. I'm going to do from up to here. So I draw like this. They should be straight. That's why I'm using a ruler. Then this is that our frequency there is 3. That's where acid. I think you can able see that. Then you see, then I come to manual where 5. So this is where my 5 is. I constant up when I reach 5. That's where my 5 is. Then also here, my 5 is there. So you see, now when I join these 2, you see the 5 is stopping there. Then you can get a rubber and then you rub those excess. So now when you come to James, you start our James has 2. So it's where 2 is. Then you can start using the ruler. So this group used the freehand somewhere, which I wasn't happy. So here we use rulers. Then you see, you come. You see where 2 is, then you come and you put there 2. I think you can able to see it should be straight. So that's where 2 is going to be. So that's how we construct a bar graph. You see the difference here? The space left is the same, and the bars are the same length. So then you come and name. These are the teams. This was which team? You name that this is what? Arsenal. Most of the work they did was right, but the mistake they made, drawing using hands. So this is Chelsea. And now here, don't shade. That will be enough. So this group, we give them for naming this axis. So here I started never naming this axis. But this one was supposed to be teams. Okay, so that's what I expected from them. Okay, so now from there, we're supposed to give, for this one, you see 3 was okay, 5 was okay, then 2 was okay. And this is that the highest is money. You see? Because it has the most funds. Followed by us and then followed by Chelsea. That's how you can see the presentation also here. It describes, when you look at it, they will just know that Manu has this, Chelsea has this. Now, some questions, or in some, they're going to give you this and then they ask you questions. They are going to give you the bar graph and then they can ask you, how many students supported Manu? For you just come to Manu Then you read off this. These are the students who supported Manu. Supported the Arsenal. You count Arsenal, read off, then read off this. So that's how we can work the other way around. So that's what I expected. Can we clap for our groups for great presentation? Yeah, they did a nice job. So now, that's it. Now, if they ask for mod, I want you now tomorrow, I'm giving this as exercise. You can get a definition of mod, median, then mod, median, and then, yeah, you can get those definitions. How can we even mean? Mod, median, and mean. So, see you in the next lesson. There.